snacks.
What it do, snackers and snack guests? It's your boy Gage. I'm here with Coop.
Yo.
New Joker.
Yo.
Jokes. My bad. Jokes. Not new Joker. Jokes. We got a lot to talk about because San Diego Comic-Con happened like 2 weekends ago. There's a lot though. There was a lot that happened. So I don't want to waste any time. We're going to talk about some things that happened there, DC, some Marvel stuff. And then after the break, we're going to come back and talk about some Xbox and some PlayStation stuff.
Yeah.
Sound good?
That sounds good.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
We got a lot. Okay, so first and foremost, Aquaman trailer.
Aquaman.
As a matter of fact, before we even talk about the Aquaman trailer, let's talk about the Aquaman trailer and the Shazam teaser.
Mm-hmm.
And how they're exactly the same amount of time. They're both like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Why? How is that a thing?
I think they did that last year with not last year, but they did that last time with Justice League.
Yeah, but nobody cares about Justice League.
Yeah, but I mean, like DC, I guess their teasers are,
Now Marvel has some long teasers, I guess, but I guess first and foremost, I think both look pretty dope.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I am happy with James Wan as a director for Aquaman. What parts of it that look like they're going to be comedic, look like they will be good.
Right.
Action look like it's going to be good. And it looks like I might care about the story. There is potential for this joint to do Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? Not Aquaman do Wonder Woman. But do those kind of numbers.
Right.
It is coming out in December.
Yes.
There's no Star Wars movie this December.
Nope.
Right? So that seems like a safe zone. I am going to say one thing. I don't know if you saw it, but the Alita Battle Angel trailer. Good Lord. And that joint comes out in December. And that joint might wreck Aquaman.
Oh, yeah.
See how far they're going to be apart, or if that's going to be like that same day type thing.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
They'll push it like
something.
Might as well get out the way.
But how'd you guys feel about the Aquaman? Overall, Aquaman trailer?
I thought it was pretty good for what we got. You can tell like the graphic, like it looks. I think DC's trying to put their statement on how they want their stuff to look. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
It looks how Justice League looks, but better.
Right, less Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
There we go. Less.
Yeah, because I was wondering how they were going to do that with the whole Atlantis thing and how it was going to look underwater.
You mean what is it? Well, how you want to
Wakanda?
Yeah,
Aquaconda.
Aquaconda. There we go. Aquaconda.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's not fair, but okay. I mean, look, as far as them having slightly different looks or whatever, like I think that's okay. Like we're used to in comic books having different artists.
Different artists do different
books.
Right.
It's not, like I think that's livable. I do think overall it looks good. Hey, my man, for a split second when he getting ready to put on the Black Manta helmet, look like 50 Cent. But Shazam. Now Shazam is about to be their Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
right? To me, looks like it's going to be pretty funny.
I think it's going to be hilarious.
There's still some things that are kind of questionable about it, but I think what makes this a teaser is that you don't really get like a villain. You kind of get a good introduction of like who is Billy Batson.
Mm-hmm.
This is how he gets his power. Like they basically gave you the origin story
right
in
there.
this teaser, but don't tell you what's going to happen or why it is. Like what's the importance of it, so to speak. You get that one glimpse of like a villain or whatever, and we don't really need to go into like who that is. We're not going to do a trailer breakdown here. But it looks good, and there's a lot of clues in the teaser that speak to things like the fact that Justice League has already happened.
Right.
Clippings and stuff.
Clippings, newspaper articles, and all that.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. So
I think it helps people go back to the animated movie they had for Shazam, which was only like 40 minutes long, just to do an introduction of the same.
The animated movie for Shazam, like that joint is only like 10 minutes long.
Oh, 10 minutes.
It's like it's you talking about the Superman and Shazam Black Adam joint? Yeah, that's not even that's not that long at all. But it's good.
Yeah, I think it helps people go back to that to learn more if you don't know anything.
People should go back to. People should go watch that if they haven't seen it.
Do that.
Yeah, I dig that. Young Justice Outsiders.
Woo!
So like a 5-minute trailer
Yeah.
that was mostly a recap of what happened
Yeah.
in the end of the second season.
Which was highly needed because I.
How you forget?
Has it been a long
the-
time?
Yeah, it's been
It's been that
while.
long?
It's been a while, man.
Hey, bro,
It's been a
you should
long
just
time.
brush up. Just go back and watch.
Watch
the
it.
whole
Yeah, I'm
season.
You don't
going
have that much to watch. I mean,
I only have one important thing to say about Young Justice Outsiders. As excited as I am for it, I'm not gonna pay DC for their streaming service to see it.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
I'll wait until when it officially drops and we can do just the regular monthly one.
Yeah, because right now you have to pay for like the whole year,
Yeah,
whatever, right?
Yeah. I mean, the perk is you pay for the whole year, you get an extra 3 months for free, but that's a lot. That's a lot to commit to with only the few things. And granted, they've announced some pretty nice things that we know they're going to be on there, but that's a lot to commit to for just these few things that we have so far that are going to
Currently, I have access to every one of the old shows. That would be a show that I would want to watch on there, so I'm not.
Yeah.
But especially when one of the main things they're pushing is this Titans live action. I'm not with it.
You're not with it?
I'm not feeling it
Yeah, I'm
at
really
all.
not feeling it either.
I'm not with it at all.
I'm intrigued. That's where I'm at.
There's an issue when an official, like Warner Brothers sanctioned live action Titans feels more like a fanfic, like a YouTube fanfic. We don't even need to get into all of the ridiculousness that's going on with the whole Starfire thing or whatever.
Right.
Like,
That's a whole.
Yeah.
not liking that they're doing what they're doing with Starfire is not a good reason for people to be like upset at the actress. Like, people are like taking it out
like
on
legit
that.
on her.
It's
Like
kinda
it's
stupid.
no.
It's not that kind of stupid.
That's-
It's really stupid.
I know what you mean by the production. It looks like, and not to say that their production's bad, but Bat in the Sun, their production things, and they have pretty good stuff, but it doesn't look like, for WB to put out something like this, you would think it would have like more quality, as if like a Gotham would or something like that,
Right. And
So
it's not there.
It's not there, yeah.
So it just makes it feel like there isn't enough budget put behind it, truthfully. Let's talk about Marvel. Not that I want to dwell on this, okay? Because the first season of Iron Fist was garbage. However, there was an interview that Finn Jones and the crew did. Of course, they had a panel. One of the things that is giving me even the slightest amount of like, yeah, I might jump into this.
Ray of
second
Hope is
season,
there for you?
They brought in the fight coordinator from Black Panther for their second season. I'm gonna watch the first episode.
What if there's no fighting in the first episode?
Then I'll watch the second episode if the first episode is good. Because if it's not good, I'm not gonna watch it anyway.
I'm into it, and based off of that alone, and what he did in Luke Cage, and then they were like, you're gonna get that Danny Rand from Luke Cage season 2 and this one, and I was like, all right, I'll give it another shot.
What if it only ends up happening like in 2 episodes? It's like in episode like 8 and like the last
Look,
episode.
I'm gonna watch it regardless, because even though a lot of these Marvels, I'm not gonna say a lot of them, but I didn't enjoy Luke Cage season 2, but and I didn't think I would as much as I did, but I was gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it anyway. So
sure, I've just decided that like 10 to 13 hours of my time is too important. There's a lot of stuff
A lot of
I
things
do
you can
want
do
to watch,
with 10,
right?
13
So while there was a time when I'm like, I gotta watch them all because I need to keep up and know what's going on, I'll read a synopsis. Like, if I'll give you the first hour, you have to earn the rest of it for me. That's just where I'm at, right? Like, I'm gonna off GP because of the quality of the majority of what they've done, and because I'm a Marvel fan. I'm gonna give them the first hour.
it's funny, they started off
Plus, I pay for
well.
Netflix, so I'm gonna watch the
You're gonna
first
watch
hour.
it.
They started off so well. Like, you just thought it was a hit from like every show they
It's gonna
did
be
was going to
unstoppable.
be crazy.
Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Marvel Rising Initiation. You guys know anything about this?
I do
A
not.
little bit.
Alright, so animated show coming to Disney XD. Initiation is gonna be like short. It's like 6 like shorts that are doing just that. They're kind of introducing you to these characters. But the thing that stands out to me and is important, I think, about what they're doing with this is that while it's not only for girls, it's geared more towards girls. It's really about these female superheroes, Spider-Gwen and Miss Marvel and Squirrel Girl. And so I just think that's kind of a cool thing. I think it's important for them to do something like that to have it stand out. And the truth of the matter is, even though I don't think it sits on most people's radar at the top, like DC Superhero Girls is a pretty good show, and I think it makes a lot of waves, and that young girls are looking at it. I know my youngest daughter likes it, she watches it, so I think that this is something that Marvel really needs to do. And we've already seen, we can tell that they are beginning to really push you know, these strong female characters and leads and things like that. But then that's going to lead into Secret Warriors. Yeah. And so that will be its own show. That's going to be a whole other thing, but I think that's important. So I just wanted to make sure that we at least touched on it a little bit. Because yeah, that's going to be a thing. And Cloak and Dagger season 2 got announced.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing about that.
I still haven't. Still have not watched it yet.
You need to get right.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna binge the whole thing before those last 2 episodes. I believe we're about to be on.
Yeah.
Last 2. Yeah.
Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it, so I'm excited about them having a second season. I'm totally with it. Let's talk about something that I know you're excited about.
Uh-oh. I think I know what this is.
I'm gonna just let you say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna just let you say it.
Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Yeah. That was nice.
Bringing him into canon.
Yes.
It's important.
And the thing is, a lot of people don't actually realize is the original 3 Broly movies. Akira Toriyama, the creator of the Dragon Ball franchise, actually had very, very little to even do with the original Broly.
Yeah, Toriyama wasn't really involved in it, yeah.
So with this one, you know, he took, you know, some of the concepts, some of the foundations from the original Broly and then expanded on it. We see the different look that he has. Still keeps his, you know, monstrous looking form on it. Actually kind of...
Why is that dude so huge?
ridiculously huge. But it's to create this new story. Now, obviously, this is leading into whatever the new arc will be actually in the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Which makes you kind of think, just like they did with Beerus from Battle of the Gods and then Frieza from Resurrection F, it's looking like Broly is going to have some major input whenever the show decides to come back.
I was predicting that too. I hope they don't do it the same way though. You know how they did the movie, then they did the episodes of the movie. I just kind of felt like that was.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Because they changed some things up and it actually made it kind of cool.
Okay.
But
do you think that Broly is going to stay a villain?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I think what's going to happen is, in the original Broly movies, because he was so powerful, he was out of control. His father pretty much had a device that was able to control him.
Right.
What I'm thinking is, in this one, he actually fully has him under control for a period of time. But then, at the end of it, whether it's destroyed or whatnot, I feel like he's going to almost come back and be like, yo, what happened? What is all this? And kind of, I mean, that would be interesting. But all I know is, this dude Broly is wrecking everybody in this trailer.
Frieza,
Goku, and Goku's Super Saiyan Blue, and he hadn't even turned Super Saiyan.
Nope.
So it's about to be a problem.
No doubt.
It's going to be a problem.
Not one they can't solve. It always works out for that dude Goku, doesn't it? This Broly in Fighters?
Broly is in Fighters. He was part of the DLC.
You think they'll make, if this changes something, do you think they'll like do an
maybe do like a skin or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, yeah, they might do it because they're even releasing the new Goku, the old school Goku now.
Yeah, the only thing is there's only but so many characters that are left to come in unless they decide to do like skin changes, the things like that. I don't think they will put a second Broly in the game.
I mean,
that would be cool though to have both Brolys in the game and probably have like a slightly different move set.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure we'll see a difference between. I feel like this Broly we're gonna see is gonna be. You clearly see he's learning and fighting as he's going along. Vegeta even says that he's learning as he goes.
Right.
Versus the original Broly, he just craziness just went for it.
I think they should put him in the game because then maybe that time you could probably beat me in the game when we play. Maybe it'll help us.
Coop. So the last time we played, You beat me one time. Well, actually, it was one round.
It was epic though. It was too epic.
But clearly, you know,
I don't know. I don't know.
Because the thing is,
I mean, it might have felt epic to you.
My health was like a notch, and
you clearly didn't see that.
It was what we call a miraculous comeback. You know, it was.
I'm holding on to that one, obviously.
Yeah,
That's the only one that you can hold on to.
Hey, was there anything else from San Diego that stood out to you guys? Anything you feel like we need to mention or discuss?
Not really.
One little small tidbit, like comic side. DC, the 3 Jokers. I thought I thought that was pretty interesting. I mean, the whole 3 Joker thing has been over our heads for a long time now.
Right.
And finally now we're kind of going to get the answers and kind of see that. I thought that was.
Yeah, we don't have them yet, but we're gonna get.
We're gonna get. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna get them, but I thought that was pretty interesting.
It is interesting. I'm skeptical.
You're a little skeptical?
It just remains to be seen. Like, I just really want to hear how they suss out the idea of having had 3 Jokers.
They're waiting for the movie.
Let me just put it to you this way.
They're waiting for the movie.
Let me just put it to you this way. It has to be a really, really strong explanation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, most definitely.
Because Batman is supposed to be the world's
greatest detective.
I'm going to leave it at that. That's your boy.
Apparently he's failed the city.
Yeah, because he let Arrow steal his storyline too.
By the way, Arrow and Flash look good for the.
You think so?
Yeah, especially Flash. Like the actress they got to play their daughter looks like a perfect combination of both of them. Honestly,
it's CG.
I don't. Maybe it is.
No, seriously,
maybe it is because they look exactly like the two. So
every now and again, I wish I cared.
Yeah,
I just don't. Like I don't. Like the first season and a half of Arrow. Alright.
Yeah.
Flash. I'm gonna be real. I still don't like who they picked for Flash. I'm just not with it. So,
okay. I think I might go back to.
I like Supergirl.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel too.
I can't. It's just not working for me.
I think I'm gonna go back to the last season of Arrow because I stopped Arrow for a while. But then once the last
I would
season,
recommend, depending on how far you're caught up, the last season kind of redeemed the last couple of seasons. Of Arrow.
Yeah, so. I'll will Netflix that. And then,
I like Stephen Amell.
Oh, absolutely love Stephen Amell.
I don't. That's going far, but I like Stephen Amell.
Yeah.
But not enough.
When he's not Casey Jones, yeah, but you know.
Nah, he could be Casey Jones. You think the second... You know what? You think the second Ninja Turtle movie is the best one. You wilding out anyway.
This could be a whole nother argument.
You know, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do, y'all. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. Let's talk about some Xboxes and PlayStation stuff that's going on. Can we do that?
Sounds
we can
good.
do that.
Cool with y'all?
We can do that.
All right, let's do that. We'll be right back, y'all.
Loading snacks.
What's going on, everybody? Your boy Sin here, back at All-Star Comic-Con 2018. All-Star? Yes. And I find myself... You heard that? Just ran into a talented individual I wanted to, show to y'all. Please, sir, introduce yourself.
How you doing? My name is Rodney Roberts. I'm an artist/designer. Been pretty much drawing all my life. Got into the con game about 2 years ago. Started drawing again seriously after taking a break to work on my professional career. I'm a graphic designer by day, so I finally got back into drawing and it's been non-stop ever since.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about all the things you got going on the table here today.
As you can see, I'm pretty huge into Star Wars.
Yes.
So over the past year, I became an official Topps sketch card artist for Topps.
Congratulations.
So thank you very much. So I'm consistently working on, as you can see here, this is all official Lucasfilm/Disney licensed work. These are the original sketches that people can, if they're lucky enough, pull from the individual packs.
Okay.
So,
Okay, how did How'd you get that? Look up on that deal.
I knew a couple of guys that are already doing it, you know, and I flirted with the idea of doing it. I just didn't know how to get my foot in the door. So there was one individual who gave me a name, a contact. He's like, hey, send this person 10 to 12 pieces of your best work, you know, and see what happens. And I didn't expect to hear anything, but like 2 weeks later, I got an email. I was like, hey, we like your work. How'd you like to work on this set? So I've been doing Star Wars sets for the past year, like non-stop. And then I actually got a contacted by a representative from Upper Deck to work on X-Men set last year. So that was pretty cool.
Hence the X-Men stuff we see here as well a little bit. Okay. And so what medium do you like to go with?
I do a lot of digital work.
Okay.
Using an iPad Pro with an app called Procreate. So this piece right here was all digital.
Okay.
So it's printed on canvas. But with the cards, obviously, I do ink and markers.
Okay. And how long have you been drawing?
Like I said, all my life, but this kind of stuff right here, like for maybe 3 years.
Okay.
So,
how did you find out about All-Star Comics?
I'm really good friends with Kevin Bednarz, one of the organizers. So he's actually been one of my mentors over the past year. Like I hooked up with him a few years ago, and you know he's really good about promoting local artists. So I actually have a lot of my work up in Comic Logic, his store.
Okay.
So you know we sort of go back and forth. It's not really competitive, but I think we keep each other inspired, so to speak. So yeah, I mean,
help build everybody up. Help build the community.
I mean, I think All Stars, like, it's pretty much a big family. It's a family. I met you guys. I met some of the other people through this con, and so it's just you can't beat it, man.
Okay, so look, do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Let everybody at home know where they can go to find your work. Purchase it, where they can find you, follow you, I guess.
Okay. So again, my name is Rodney Roberts, and the best place to find me is Ion Graphics, IONGRAPHX, and that's both on Instagram and Facebook.
All right, man. Look, definitely appreciate it, man.
Nice to meet you.
Congrats on the upper deck and the top.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We got more to do. I'm getting out of here. I'll catch y'all later.
I'm Rodney Roberts, and I'm an artist/graphic designer, and you're watching Loading Snacks.
Snacks.
Welcome back, snackers and snackettes. We just chilling on the couch.
Hey.
New Joker, Coop, Jokes. I keep calling you that.
It's just
like in natural conversation, I call you Jokes.
Yeah.
But
when you do it like this, it's just New Joker.
Deal with it.
I know who I am.
Deal with it. Before we start talking about this Xbox and PlayStation stuff, I just want to say that I feel like Marvel's gonna drop like the teaser for Captain Marvel like the week before Aquaman comes out.
A 3-minute joint.
Just burn the whole movie down, yo. Like, I feel like that's when they're gonna make their oh, check this out.
They did that with Jessica Jones too, didn't they? Jessica Jones and Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, but it was Jessica Jones. It was like
that's not like we're gonna put the trailer before the movie.
Yeah.
Watch this episode of Jessica Jones in theater before you watch.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta be tight. Alright, so this was kind of San Diego Comic-Con news, but I figured we'd move it into like this gaming section since we're gonna talk about video game stuff here anyway. Spider-Man PS4 Pro. Bruh.
The moment the Spider-Man game was announced, it was like
maybe they gotta do it.
Maybe we need to find that clip, you know.
They gotta do it, Johnny.
And they did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they didn't say anything at E3.
Nope.
And I was like, okay.
Like,
I quit.
I quit. Yes,
if they, they do it at Comic-Con, that would make some sense. Marvel wasn't doing the MCU panel, but they were doing the games panel, so it was kind of like, Hey, that joint looks gorgeous.
It does.
It's like I saw some people complaining because it's glossy.
I like the gloss.
I do too.
I like the gloss.
I do too. I'm okay with the glossy and the fresh white spider and the red controller with the fresh white buttons.
Red is my favorite color.
I'm sorry, this is boring to you. The best superhero ever being discussed right now.
I love the red. It tops. The controller is sexy. Like,
here's my problem. Why do they have to include a disc?
I knew you were gonna say that. This is normally
Nobody does that anymore.
everybody that's released the console. It's always been the digital,
It's a digital
code that's in there
download.
for it.
Bruh, I'm not putting that disc in. So now I'm gonna have to buy the game digital.
Bruh. Cause the last time PlayStation did, as a matter of fact, Batman, Arkham Knight, there was a physical disc that was in
Is
there.
it something about superhero joints? Like,
Maybe it is.
You're
is it
right.
because it's a third party?
Now I think about it.
It could be.
Because did the God of War come with a physical disc? The God of War
God of
PS4
War.
Pro?
I don't know if it came with.
Like, that's first party, right? That's
Yeah.
Sony first party, so maybe that's
That
a
was
little
digital.
different. You know, this is Spider-Man's Insomniac,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe they do the disc.
Mm.
That's still dumb. It's dumb. I don't want. Wait a minute. I want the disc. I just don't want to have to use it every time I want to play the game.
Right.
I'm not putting that in. That joint's going. That's wall art.
Yep.
Yo, the disc needs to be special. Like, it can't just be like.
The regular go on the shelf, pull it off the
disc.
shelf. Man.
I mean, no, not gold, but like, you know, like it needs to, like it's gonna have like a spider symbol, like it's gotta have something on it.
Mm-hmm.
That joint's gonna be art.
Too Brandon. Just having.
I don't even know who
I
that
was gonna
is.
say, who is that?
Nonetheless,
Really?
but listen, what I will say is, I'm gonna end up having to buy a copy of this game that is digital,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise, I'm gonna have to put that disc in every time I want to play.
Well, that'll be the only disc like. Honestly, it's supposed to stay in there. Cause that would be the only one. That'll be the only physical one that I really have. Cause now, like everything I have on PlayStation, I've pretty much downloaded. It's on a hard drive.
I have an idea. Maybe you guys can just like give me your PlayStation when you get your new PlayStation, right?
I'm waiting for the idea. I'm waiting for the idea.
Wait.
I don't hear the idea. What's the idea part?
That was it.
Well, let me answer this. Survey says. Nope, not at all.
Okay, well,
Maybe you should just go buy a PlayStation.
And my man really just tried to get both of them though.
Really?
Maybe you guys should give me your PlayStations.
Sorry.
You get.
I have the Arkham Knight. I got the Arkham Knight PS4. I'm keeping that.
Are you?
I'm keeping it. It's gonna go in another room in the house.
Yeah, nah. That PS4 is getting out of here, bruh. That joint is ghost. That's my down payment right there.
So pretty much taking that, trading it in, down payment.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
I already pre-ordered one, so
I most definitely don't need multiple PlayStations at all. And you, sir, will not have it. We will not have it at all. Would you like to purchase it?
sure, I would like to purchase.
Oh, all right. Let's talk. We'll talk about that.
talk about it.
We'll
Find
talk
out
about that.
GameStop's value and then go from there.
Yeah, because whatever GameStop's value is, he's gonna pay me more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just saying. Okay, that's enough about that. Xbox. So, a couple things. First thing I want to do is I want to talk about the Scarlett. Okay, that's the code name for the new consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Consoles. So, there's a gentleman by the name of Paul Thurrott, Thurrott.com, who tends to have some pretty decent inside
Mm-hmm.
track on Microsoft, Xbox, things that are going on there or whatever. And so he there was an article that he put out basically talking about these two consoles, right, that Microsoft was doing. There really aren't specs to get into as far as the details of the amount of power,
Things
GPU,
like that
CPU, stuff like that, hard drive size or whatever. The interesting thing about it, one, obviously, is that it's two, which Phil Spencer did say consoles when he was talking about it at E3. But it's that the second one is they're calling it, or at least according to what he's saying, is it was called the Scarlett Cloud, right? And that it is supposed to be an all streaming box.
Well, we've been talking about that for a while.
A long time.
Very
It's been
long
rumored
time.
for a long time.
I kind of thought we were like maybe like one generation off from that, but I mean, it's looking like that realistically is happening.
I mean, Phil Spencer mentioned at the same time they mentioned the consoles, he mentioned their streaming platform, like them having a streaming platform and being able to stream to multiple devices. So, Microsoft seems pretty confident in whatever it is that they have that is their streaming service for gaming and what the latency means and so forth. And obviously, it's not necessarily something that's going to work for everybody,
Everyone,
right?
of
Because
course.
everybody's maybe not going to have the internet,
Strongest internet connection to do it and everything.
But what do you guys think about that? The idea that there are going to be two consoles that are probably going to release at the same time, and like the rumor along with this is that the streaming box would be a very inexpensive box by comparison. We might be talking like $100 to $150 for that box. What do you think?
I mean, I'm cool with that. I mean, for pretty much up until we got to the one, in the sense of saying there was two consoles. I mean, Xbox 360. There was that core edition that came out, and they had
The arcade?
the arcade ones at the time. That was pretty much, you couldn't really do
Yeah, I
nothing.
mean, but the box was the same. It was just a different hard drive. You know what I mean? Like,
But it gives you, I would say, it just gives the person a little bit more choice. So, like, say for us, we do mostly digital copies for games. So when you tell us you're going to just be able to stream it, nothing extra, for someone like us, I think we'd be pretty cool with that. We have the internet. We have the internet for us that will work fine for it.
okay.
But then you have the same ones that do prefer to still buy the physical disc.
Yeah.
And I think
I still think they only gonna have a small
certain amount
window
one.
before they're not gonna really be able to get physical games
listen,
anyway.
I think that the physical disc thing will probably be more for kids. If you're buying that for like Christmas and stuff like that, and you want to buy them the actual disc for the game,
Or to give them
things like that still
to
happen.
hand them a gift.
To hand them a gift and to
I
have
don't know, man. I think kids. Your son is 5, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
He has one disc game, and then he knows he knows it's easier, but like if you don't have to put the disc in.
Right, but that's what I guess I'm getting at. Like at 5, he's at he understands how cell phones work, how tablets work, how touchscreens work, how like there's just stuff that's in there. You know what I mean? Like he may not be able to tell you there's this many gigs on it and this game takes up this much space and blah blah blah, right? But he understands that there are games on it and I can just go in and I can play them.
Right.
That's the world that kids are coming into now. Like kids are way more accepting of like gift cards and things like that because they just want to go buy what they want. So I think for sure if your son wants a toy, right, an action figure,
Every day.
let him open it up, wrap it, let him open it. But here's the thing: a lot of people don't even really wrap gifts anymore. It's always a gift bag.
It's a gift bag with some. If sometimes the tissue paper's in it, sometimes it's just thrown there. Card is in there. Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday,
That's
whatever
just
it is.
trifling.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that's
It
just
is,
trifling. Put
but-
some tissue paper in it.
but-
please.
My mom actually took my gift bag back. She was like, "I'm gonna need this bag." So I'm gonna
Sure.
need something.
Sure, I'm giving that back. I'm sure she did that.
Take the
to you.
present out.
Yeah, of course it was just
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that like, you got to think about where we are. Like, technically, I think this is what Microsoft was attempting to do early. Like, maybe even going into the Xbox One, and it may have just been too soon. But the idea of having two different boxes that give you the choice, if you have the bandwidth, if you have the ability, right? For us, to me, the big question is, okay, if I was to buy the streaming box, right, if my old games still work, which is what we've been talking about, assuming this is still, that our old games are still going to work, right? There might be games that come out specifically for the Scarlett that don't work on the Xbox One family.
Right.
But I would expect that everything that works on Xbox One is going to work on this going forward, right? So, like, even if this is a streaming box, if I'm able to just to download what I want still and plug in my hard drive to it, I don't really need the disc drive. Right? And even though watching 4K movies on disc
is different,
is better and higher quality than streaming 4K, there are a couple of things with that. One, we're talking about what bandwidth and 5G and stuff like that will be like probably 2 years from now. We're probably talking the end of 2020. I'm thinking holiday 2020 is probably what we're talking about, right? So we're talking 2 years from now. So where we're going to be internet-wise, bandwidth-wise, 5G with cell phones and stuff like that wise, like all of that could be very different at the time that this releases. So I think it's very forward thinking. And it also could change as far as infrastructure for internet, even in the center of the country.
Yeah, and if you already think about something like Best Buy not selling CDs anymore,
it's a wrap.
It's only a matter of time.
I would think for real, the nail in the coffin for video games would be like if Microsoft and Sony decide to sell you physical copies right through the console. Like Microsoft already has a store now where you can buy controllers and buy gear and clothes and stuff like that. It basically just takes you to Internet Explorer and you can buy that stuff right there. So like if they just decide, well look, if you just really want to have
we'll sell it to you ourselves.
We'll sell it to you and ship it to you. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Even if they ship it through Amazon or something like that so that you get this, whatever it is, like that's going to have an effect on brick and mortar. It's going to have effect on places like Best Buy or whatever. So here's the thing for me. I probably want both. I probably want both. And that's terrible. Like, I'm sure I wouldn't need it, but I just feel like there's going to have to be something that, like, that streaming box is missing or lacking that the other one does. Now, there's supposed to be some, like, very serious technology in the...
Yeah, I can only
in the box that helps with the latency and all that kind of stuff. You got to figure, with all of what they're learning by owning and using Mixer on a regular basis, right? Like, even Mixer now has the thing where you can let other people have control of your game. You can use a controller and play your game, so the latency has to be that short. And that's one of the big things about Mixer is how low the latency is in it, and the interactivity that you have now with games. Like Forza Motorsport 4 is going to actually allow you to progress in the game by streaming the game on Mixer. Yeah. There are things that are happening with this, you know what I mean? Like, that's a thing. So, I think it's really interesting. I think it'll work, but especially if it's like $100.
Oh my god! If you tell me the consoles will cost that, like, I don't think we've ever had a home console at any point, even back that would put something like
not brand new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not new. I mean, and that could be. It might be 200.
It could be.
It depends on how powerful it is or whatever, right? But I'm also the one I got to be thinking. Okay, if I get the unit, I have the full joint that takes the disc and everything. As far as like the guts of it, having that connected to my 4K TV and what that means as far as being able to play off of that versus the streaming version or something like that. Like, but Game Pass is getting it. Microsoft just announced that Xbox had their first $10 billion year ever.
Wow.
$10 billion in a year. People talk like Sony is like, oh, they got all the consoles. But Microsoft is making money.
Making money.
Xbox is making money. You know what I mean? $10 billion. And they specifically called out Game Pass and Xbox Live. So you gotta know going forward that's where they're gonna lean. Which one would you buy?
Streaming one.
Streaming one.
Yeah, I mean,
price point alone, or just
cause it's how it is, with me and my household now. So yeah, that's just what it will be.
Okay, what about you?
It's probably streaming one, but just like you said, it's like the internal component. Like, I'm hoping, like, say if everything is just streaming, but like if I want to put a 4K Blu-ray in there, it's like, am I gonna lose that? Like,
I don't think it's gonna have a disc drive at all.
And it's just like, I don't want to sacrifice, like, no, granted, just like you said, internet technology is changing. 2 years time, who knows who
streaming
knows
for
what
4.
we can have
Right.
at that point in time.
Right.
And with them building this console, obviously behind the scenes, they know stuff we don't know. So obviously they can see, oh, this internet that we're about to have come through here now is about to be the thing, and we can support and we can do this. Like they probably already have beta versions of that stuff in house that they're testing and running it on, seeing how it works.
Scary to think about.
I'm sure.
No, it's a crazy, scary thing to think about at the same time.
Y2K's coming back.
That's not how time works.
Well, you know,
Like the
Y2K18.
Plus,
whatever.
what?
No.
What?
Yep.
Plus, Y2K didn't even happen anyway, cause
he's just trying to tell you he's scared.
I
That's
know
what
he
he's
is.
saying.
I know he is. It's okay. Cool. It's okay.
Do we get Cortana integrate? Like, is there going to be a voice? Like, I don't think there'll be a Kinect camera.
I don't think. I think
right?
the Kinect is done.
But the voice thing.
It's still very useful.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be a digital assistant, or
I
it'll
think
just work
so.
with like Alexa or Siri or whatever you have?
I think they'll probably do something themselves because I don't think they want to use like unless a partnership.
Cortana and Alexa work together.
So, but I'm sure they would want to have like their own device that but you're right, they do work together. But I could see that seeing as that households already have them. Depending on the device you have, Apple, whoever, one of the, pretty sure it won't be Apple. But to be able to just integrate it into it versus you having the Kinect sitting there, because I mean, granted, I love the Kinect, I love what it offered, but it's like now it's just starting to be, it's almost now it's just like it just sits there. Granted, voice commands are out there.
I use it every day.
If I'm online playing, normally I have my headset on anyway,
Right.
so
you're talking into
I'm talking right into the headset on there for
They
it.
could build a microphone into the controller or something like that, I suppose, if you want to do that. But I don't know. Anyway, I think it'll be a good thing if they do this. Like, if they do it this way, even people who are like scared of it and don't like the idea of going to all streaming, there's a box for you.
There's a box for you.
It'll be more expensive, but there's a box for you. You know what I mean? And you can still jump in. So, you guys tell us what you think. What are you expecting to see from the Xbox Scarlett? Which one would you jump on? Would you do streaming? Would you do non-streaming? Would you do both? If the one that's not the streaming alone box also can stream, I'm in the big box.
Yeah.
I'm in that big box, and then the little box for traveling or something like that. That thing which
hotel Wi-Fi.
But yeah, y'all tell us what you think, and then make sure after you comment, you hit the ding-a-ling bell.
The ding-a-ling bell.
So that you don't miss any time we upload an episode. We are getting ready to head off to BlurredCon.
BlurredCon.
So by the time you see this, BlurredCon will be over. But that's still where we're getting ready to go.
Crazy
fun. High expectations for that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll let you know how we feel after that. And just be prepared because you're going to get a flood of content. Just kind of how it is.
That's how we do.
Kind of how it is. Make sure this dude every now and again does some things on the channel that you might want to see. Every now and again. But while you're waiting for those things, every Monday we're reviewing Cloak and Dagger.
That is true.
Episodes, and we're almost down to the wire. We only got a couple of episodes left.
We're really close to the end.
And I'm enjoying it. But if you want to see what we think episode by episode, you can do that. And we are going to do a roundtable recap once the whole season is over. This dude right here does some things sometimes that you might like. Most of the time he's posting stuff about anime or about wrestling. Woo edition. Just
Woo edition.
So you know. Not new edition.
Woo edition.
Woo edition.
What's the next album?
yeah, next album. That's how it's going down. So make sure you're following me. I'm at Empty Shells. It'll be on the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
That right there is Coop's Concessions. That right there is New Joker 89. We are at Loading Snacks across all socials. We appreciate your time, your love, and your support. With that, we're out. Toodles and Loos.
Loading snacks.